Let's talk a bit about the California wildfires, something that is ravaging thousands of buildings, homes, forcing hundreds of thousands of people to evacuate. All the while, Trump feels the need to try and make this a political thing because he doesn't believe in the science behind it, which is something he will always try to do with tragedies, a core reason I will always find him to be a disgusting person. So I thought we could look at the facts of the matter, the effects, the causes, and discuss what it really means. The fire mainly ravaged Palisades, but has spread to other surrounding areas in the county like Malibu, Pasadena, Altadena. I'll place various before and after pictures on the screen so you can kind of see the totality of the damage, but just know it's a lot. Buildings have been burned to ash. At least 5 people are confirmed to have died. The number could be more. There's people facing injuries as well that could die. We don't know. It's ever changing. And over 130,000 people have been immediately ordered to evacuate. This was obviously when the fire started on Tuesday. It's been a few days now. These people are evacuated as the fire has consumed at least 42 square miles, with this obviously subject to continuously grow. So the debate is, who's to blame? Why did this happen? Who's at fault here? And then obviously, what do we do to prevent this going forward? And well, it's obvious. It's climate change. I'm just going to let the cat out of the bag. It's so clearly climate change that it's not even funny. I mean, first off, to put this into perspective, this is widely studied already. Like, it's not really a question at this point. Human-caused climate change has caused over 50% of the increase in wildfires and massively upped the potential for them to happen. Wildfires are already destroying 3 times more when they burn, both in America and Canada, than when they used to, like 20, 30 years ago, with studies directly linking warmer temperatures, drier air, the droughts caused by climate change to making this the reason it's much more likely. Even the Pasadena chief stated that even if they had more resources, they probably wouldn't have been able to fight a fire this size due to the intense winds and the way it was able to spread. Wildfires are now burning at 4 times the size. On average, the size of Maryland is what they burn to destroy annually in a year. Where in the 80s, when this was first studied, it was only around 3,000, like 3,300 miles. So it's up to about 4 times. MAGA will have you believe that this is because of Democrats and inefficient water systems and climate change is fake all the while this is happening. Of course, these water services and things they're blaming are also under the same budget that they have tried to defund multiple times. And then some more important context points, might I add, is California would have a bigger public water supply than it already does if it wasn't for that capitalism conservatives love so much, allowing for a billionaire to buy it. Literally, to buy it and then hoard it and sell it back in portions to the people of California. And from reports directly out of California, from the Water and Power Department in California, it's at the elevated areas where they rely on hydrants, fill tanks from the ground level to provide refills. Because of the increased demand that obviously they were not expecting, because this fire is much more powerful, growing much more faster than fires typically have due to the effects of climate change, they didn't have the pressure in these hydrants to fill those tanks. Most hydrants are made for like a block, like a neighborhood block at most, a couple houses, 4 or 5. You can stretch it if you really need it, not thousands of buildings like these hydrants were being relied on for, along with fires preventing the crews from getting down and being able to manually access these pumps, which is why they had to use the water tenders. And Trump is trying to paint this as a lack of water supply because of Democratic mishandling. Well, you realize pretty quickly that this is an unconnected issue that has no play on the fire, right? But not only that, you realize there isn't even a water shortage in California. In Orange County, they've said that they've had enough water to carry 2.5 million people through droughts for multiple years. The Southern California Water District serves 19 million people and has an abundance of water. They could double their capacity of who they serve to 40 million and serve them for a year. So it just comes down to Trump, first off, probably not even really understanding what caused this, but seeing blue states, so just wanting to attack Democrats, because again, those losing their homes are voting Democrat. They voted for Harris, so how much do they matter to him? Despite not a single attack line MAGA saying about this being is pertinent or based in reality, right? These are people who just deny science, so they have to look elsewhere, or else they would have to admit that they've been wrong for years. It's quite literally the clear, and it's a documented thing you can research. I've written a Substack on it. I'll leave it in my description if you want to learn more. It's the problems from climate change, the symptoms of climate change, making these fires worse while our ability to fight them has stayed the same. So the effects that we see from them will be greater. Climate change is something Trump and Republicans don't even believe in. So of course, when clear-cut proof smacks them in the face, by virtue of a massive wildfire spreading at rates we've never seen before, melting pipes at temperatures we haven't seen recently, or at least in average fires, they would, of course, then try to throw out the science and make it political, because to MAGA, even fires are a political issue. This is what you have to understand. They view everything through the lens of politics. So even science is political, and that's why they think these things are up for debate when they're just objectively not.